We are Harriet and Hannah, joint managing directors, and we have won the Female Leaders Club Award.
So a few years ago, we were the first agency to introduce gender-neutral parental leave that basically gives dads access to the same paternity and parental leave as mums, to try and make it possible for dads to take time off, to stop that penalty being on mothers and to make sure that that's really equitable in families. And then do you want to talk about Pablo Living Wage?
Yes, so the second, we made ourselves a commitment that every year we would introduce another industry first, something to positively progress the state of our industry. So after the gender neutral parental leave, we then introduced something called the Pablo Living Wage, which was basically a new entry-level salary for people coming into the industry. So shockingly, I think the statistics are something like for the last 15 years, the average entry-level salary has not changed. And when you factor in things like inflation and what the average cost of a room in London, I think it's something roughly like £1,000 a month to rent a room in London. You're not really left with much when you're on an average salary of something like 24 grand.
Yeah.
We already were London living wage employers, but we wanted to do something more, and we were lucky and fortunate enough to come back off a period of successful growth in the agency, which means we could invest into people and initiatives like this. So we set a new standard, which was 30k entry-level salary, which was significantly higher than the rest of the industry, and basically meant that people coming into the industry could not only really survive, they could also live. And I think when you're dealing with a creative company, having brains that are completely open and uninhibited, and they're not encumbered with the pressure and the things of basically paying your bills every month or knowing how you're going to feed yourself, is incredibly important. So that was our second initiative as well. And then since then, we've gone on to do other things like the active rest policy as well, as part of these sorts of progressions.
Do you know what? Harriet and I have each other, and we are so grateful for what we know is a really unique position that we hold together, and we put ourselves forward for things and put ourselves out there for things because we owe it to each other. And what we would just say is, you owe it to yourself. You don't need somebody else cheerleading you. Haz does this for me and I do it for her, but ultimately do it for yourselves and keep doing what you're doing, and just keep shining and back yourself because you deserve it.
Yeah, and go for it. Don't let imposter syndrome hold you back. As women can have that in abundance, and go for it, reach for the stars, because, and lean into things that make you uncomfortable. I've always done that. I'm very much a risk-averse person in every aspect of my life, but when it comes to my career, I've always lent into risk. Like, I've gone to companies where they've just changed leadership teams. I've gone to other places which have been like a big risk to me, or moved to other countries. And actually, it's always served me well. Change actually served you really well if you can kind of got the appetite to knock open doors and really harness those opportunities, then go for it.